Have you ever noticed this pattern? You start a project, fired up, energized, with a clear vision. The first few weeks fly by. Progress is visible. You're in the zone. Then comes a moment. You've already done 80%. Just a little left. The finish line is right there. And that's exactly where you stop. Not because you're burned out. Not because something important came up. Just because the excitement somehow disappeared. The project still exists. It's open in your browser, sitting on your desk, waiting for you. But your mind is already on to the next idea. This is called the second wind trap. And today we're going to break down why this happens, and most importantly, how to stop it. Think about how your brain works with new projects. When you first start, everything feels electric, fresh, exciting, full of potential. Your brain is flooded with dopamine just from the idea itself. You can't stop thinking about it. You stay up late. You make plans. You tell your friends about it. But then the middle stretch hits. The novelty is gone. The routine has set in. The project feels familiar, almost boring. And right at that moment, a new idea shows up. Bright, fresh, packed with potential. That electric feeling again, and your brain makes the choice automatically. It goes where the dopamine is, toward the new, toward the fresh, toward the unexplored. And the old project, 80% done, gets left behind, waiting, slowly fading. This is not laziness. This is not a character flaw. This is neuroscience. And understanding this is the first step out. Now the important question. Why 80% specifically? Why not 50? Why not 90? Because 80% is the point of maximum resistance. Here's how it breaks down. From 0 to 50%. You're building. Everything is new. Everything is interesting. Dopamine is flowing freely. From 50 to 80%, you're refining. Not as exciting, but progress is still visible. That keeps you moving. But from 80 to 100, that's a completely different animal. This is what psychologists call the final friction zone. This is where you have to solve the hardest problems. This is where the project demands maximum focus. This is where you face everything you've been putting off. All the uncomfortable decisions, all the tricky details, all the moments where you just don't know the right answer. And it's exactly at this moment that a new idea appears. Clean, problem-free, no difficult decisions, none of the stuff that's slowing you down. This is not a coincidence. Your brain is actively looking for an escape from discomfort, and it finds one in a new project. But here's what's critical to understand. Every single time you walk away at 80%, you are training that exact pattern. You are literally teaching your brain to quit. And every time, it gets a little easier to do it again. All right, let's talk about the real price tag. What are you actually losing when you abandon a project at 80%? First, the obvious one. You lose the result. 80% of the work and 0% of the payoff. A project that's almost done is worth nothing because an unfinished book doesn't get read. An unlaunched website doesn't make money. An incomplete course doesn't change anyone's life. Second, you lose confidence in yourself. Every abandoned project is a small hit to your self-image. You tell yourself, I didn't finish again. And over time, you start to believe that finishing things just isn't who you are. Third, and this one is the most invisible, you lose time spinning up the next cycle because every new idea needs a runway, a fresh start, a new learning curve, and you go through the first 50% again and again. The part that's easy, exciting, full of dopamine. You become a master at starting, and you never finish anything. Okay, enough diagnosis. Let's talk solutions. I want to give you 3 specific tools that work not because you'll become more disciplined, but because they work with your neuroscience, not against it. Tool 1, the final friction map. Right now, grab your unfinished project and write a list of exactly what's left to do. Not vague, specific. Not finish the writing, but write chapter 3. Not fix the design, but choose the final font. When you see a concrete list, your brain stops seeing the finish line as a foggy mountain. It sees specific steps, and that reduces resistance. Tool 2. The new idea rule. When a new idea hits you, don't fight it. Write it down, fully, with all the details. Put it in a folder called Ideas for Later, and tell yourself, I'll come back to this the moment I finish my current project. This releases the pressure of the new idea, because your brain is afraid of losing it. Take your project, look at the list of what's left, and set a deadline. No more than 2 weeks out, not a month, not someday, 2 weeks, with a specific date, and then tell someone about it. A friend, a colleague, your audience. Public accountability changes everything. Because now, not finishing costs more. I want you to understand one thing. The ability to finish is a skill. Just like starting is a skill. And it gets built the exact same way. Through repetition. Every time you cross the finish line, you train your brain to finish. And each time it gets a little bit easier. Every time you walk away at 80%, you train your brain to quit. This is not a question of motivation. This is a question of which skill you're building every single day. The most productive people I know, they're not more motivated than everyone else. They've simply learned to move through the final friction zone. They know it's hard there, and they go anyway, because they know on the other side of the finish line is everything they started for. Right now, not tomorrow, not after this video. Open your biggest unfinished project, the one that's been waiting for you the longest. Write down what's left. Set a deadline, 2 weeks, and tell at least one person about it. That's it. 3 steps. Right now. If this video shifted something for you, hit the like button. It takes 1 second. And drop a comment. Tell me which project you're going to finish.